Hello, Jonathan.
Hello， 下午好。
非常荣幸，今天我们能够有这个机会聊一聊犹太家族、财富传承、子女教育一系列的问题。For Australian investors to invest in China, they would face similar problems. Can you tell us about Australian investors' problem when they try to invest in China? Are they even interested? Because people are generally aware that Chinese are interested in investing in Australia, but not the other way around.
Yeah, well, this is something that I take a lot of care and time in, and I spend a lot of time being a true two-way platform. Talk about investment. I think there's quite a few ways of investment, right? So, one investment is actually the brand or company into China. And many brands obviously still see China as a key market for selling products and goods. And that takes investment, right? That takes investment of team, capital, money, marketing, etc. That's a big part of what I do as well. Quite passionate about that, bringing high brands to the China market. That's investment number one. I think investment number two is actually setting up businesses overseas, which Australians have done for many time. But some of them are still find it difficult to find the right partner. For example, building a tomato or grape farm, or building a industrial business. Some of them may have partners, but they're really scared to do it themselves in China. So that's number two. Then number three, I think, is obviously just financial investments, and that's probably the least developed. Considering how big and how many opportunities in the China market, Australia is very underinvested in China, but every country is as well. But Australia particularly so. And I think that's because there's always been a question of how do we get the money out of China? How do we invest safely? Again, who are the partners? Where's the risk? And all this kind of thing. And obviously there's been a number of bad stories in China, right? Whether it's P2P lenders earlier this year.
Yeah.
There's bad stories in any country, but people really remember the China ones because the media, especially in the US, plays it so hard. There's always been, how do I know it's safe? Who's really going to protect me when things go wrong? I've managed to do quite a few transactions in China, including like DJI, including a drone company, including Meituan, Didi, these type of companies, and most recently JD in their Hong Kong listing. Yeah. And these companies, because they're household names and people know them and they can touch and feel them, they probably feel more comfortable. But then when it gets into the smaller companies or, very Chinese names that they never hear about, it gets harder. There have been some families that have invested heavily in China, one or two in particular. Small invest quite a bit in China, but there have been other non-Jewish families like Fairfax and Packer families. They have invested heavily in China. But I think this is going to continue to be difficult. So I still believe what we need to do is continue to build good relationships here with, Huarens who live in Australia or coming to Australia, who build real relationships and trust, invest in Australia, make a difference, and then they can be the partners for China, right? They can take the businesses into China. They can help with investment, because it comes down to the same problem every time, right? Is it worth my time? The other markets are easier, simpler. I can make money here. I can make money elsewhere. Why do I take all the risks in China? Yeah.
If the family has a child who came to Australia and studied a few years, speak good English, understand Australian culture or the Western culture, would that be a ideal partner?
That makes a great difference. I think that shows that they've really spent time to understand Australia and China and have a big appreciation of what could work and what are the opportunities. So definitely. Communication is still a problem. Amazingly, we're in 2020, but
we're in the AI era still.
But it's still a problem. It just becomes harder. Time is money, right? So these very wealthy families, if it's if there's translation, it can often mean an extra half an hour in a meeting. They might do it once, twice, but if everything gets lost in translation, it's just too hard. The families are very interested to find partners in China. That has not gone away, and that will not go away. Whatever happens politically or elsewhere, people want to go to China. They want to learn. They want to grow their businesses there. But if it's too hard and there isn't people like us making an effort, then they won't. Just naturally will do something else. They will naturally do it. It's just like, me and you might like to play basketball because our favorite sport, and we really do it because we love it.
Yeah.
But bodies let us down, and it's raining every day. We'll pick some other sports that's inside, right? Or some, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes just becomes, I have to accept things. And as I said earlier, in Chinese, Jewish people adapt very quickly. So if things don't go their way and China is hard, they will go to other markets. And unfortunately, there are other markets now to look at, like Vietnam, China, India, etc. So China needs to raise the competitiveness. And as much as it is a good place still and an exciting place, we have to work hard at it.